Welcome to the Great Girlfriends podcast, where we discuss life, love, laughter, and everything in between. We are your hosts. I'm Sybil Amuti.
And I'm Brandis Daniel.
And we have a third great girlfriend.
What's hello. I'm ShirleyAnn Robertson.
Hey, ShirleyAnn. I'm going to stand up and give a round of applause.
I know! We're so excited to have her. Well, first of all, I'm just over the moon that you great girlfriends have asked me to be a part of it. So thank you.
ShirleyAnn,
you are a girlfriend.
We're so honored and so excited. ShirleyAnn was one of those love at first sight type situations that happens.
Yes.
And I didn't know how close and how fast we get in bed, ShirleyAnn. So it's great to have you here today.
Nice and cozy in bed, huh?
Nice. So to have you.
Thank you.
So, girlfriends, ShirleyAnn is such an exciting treat. Well, before we get into that, how you doing, ShirleyAnn?
You know, I'm over the moon, excited, loving what I do. You know, so many new opportunities are coming up for me, and it just further lets me know that this is everything that God intended for me to do with my career, my passion, my work. So I'm just loving life, loving each moment.
So awesome. That's awesome. I want to dive into that. But Brandis officially kicked off another year of life on Friday.
Oh my goodness. I am almost speechless right now. First of all, I woke up on my birthday, which I was really excited about this birthday. I think I had been mentally prepping myself for 39. So literally, I've been telling people I was 39 since the beginning of this year. Mm-hmm. So once it finally happened, I was like all ready and set for it. But I woke up that morning to my hubby, who maybe 15 minutes after we woke up, he was like, "Have you heard the podcast?" And I was like, "What podcast?" Because he did Sky duty that morning. So I wasn't on, so he took care of Sky that morning. Normally I'm up at 4 a.m. I decided I would not go to the gym that day, and I would treat myself with a few hours of extra sleep.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. So I heard the podcast, and I was like, I cannot believe someone put this together. I'm like listening, and I'm crying, and I hear like all my friends, and then I hear my nephews. It was so cute.
They were adorable.
It was so cute.
It was Rich was a hero.
Aww.
It was like Rich rallied the troops, and he got all of these people to send Brandis these fantastic birthday messages, and we put it in podcast for a bonus, so she would wake up to a message from like all of her people. So it was really cool.
Girl, I couldn't stop smiling. The smile I have on my face right now, I was like this for like 2 hours that morning. Like I couldn't. I looked like the Joker all morning.
That's love. That's love. That's love.
Yes.
That's love.
But it was wonderful. And that night I decided to celebrate my birthday in Harlem at this really cute spot.
Ooh.
And that ended up being so much fun. I know I burned at least 500 calories that night dancing. I haven't danced that much in so long. At one point we had the entire restaurant doing the electric slide.
Oh, that's
crazy,
fun.
right?
It's good.
So
ShirleyAnn, you should see her scrubbing the ground on Snapchat. She took it back to college.
I was not scrubbing the ground.
You got to work out and then some. Nice.
Everything.
Well, if you still got it, I'm just saying.
If you still got it, drop it and scrub, right?
And Sybil, I know you went to Boston for a Great Girlfriend takeover.
Girl, yes, I did. So, ShirleyAnn, one of our mutual GGs called us. Well, she sent an email. It was like a SOS, like, I need to, like, breathe some friend air. And so, 3 of us just jumped in the car from New York and went up to spend the weekend with her.
Nice.
And it was so great. She wanted to show us everything she's learned since she's been there. So we saw everything that she wanted to share. And her husband went to college in Boston, so he took us on like his tour.
Yes.
And we stayed up all night and talked, and we were really ridiculous, and we talked about everything ridiculous.
Oh, I know if Squeaky was in that mix, it was that
conversation went everywhere fast. It was so much fun. Stuff I hadn't talked about since like an inappropriate age. We were just talking about random stuff. But it was so fun. It was really fun just to kick back and be away and you
You
know,
need
whip
those
away.
moments. You
You
need those
do.
moments where you can be authentic, you can relax, you can just be with your girls
Yes.
and share. You need that.
You
Yes,
need it. I love it.
absolutely.
Speaking
So,
of, I was
yeah, go
going to
ahead.
ask Shirley Ann, do you have who are the great girlfriends in your life that you kind of hang back and
So
relax with?
right. So my BFF from college. So, college, I'm out of college at least 25 years now. So she and I are the same today as we were back then. So, she'll always tease me and say, if they only knew Shirley Ann the way I know Shirley Ann. That
Yes.
kind of friendship. But those are the ones that really help you grow. Those are the
Yes.
ones that you can be
Yes.
so transparent with. Because there are days when your superpowers are just not so super. And you can run back home to that dear friend of yours and
Yes.
say, hey, rebuild me. So
Yes.
yes, I so get it. Those friendships are invaluable.
I love it. What college you go to?
I went to Northern Law University right here in Illinois and had a
Okay.
phenomenal time and got a degree too.
Right. That sounds like my story.
And got a degree.
I love it. I
Look, had a
love
great
it.
time in it and got a degree. That's all that matters.
And got the degree.
Yes. But you know what I love? I love that Shirley Ann, the Prudential team, you all have such like a great girlfriend
Yes.
relationship. All of the women that we've met, Brandis, I feel
Yes.
like you guys, yes, you're coworkers and colleagues, but you also have a sisterhood.
But here's why though, Sybil. I think, everybody's clear on the goal. Empowering others, giving financial clarity, creating financial wisdom. I mean, when everybody has got the same message, you can interchange and interact in such a way. I mean, they can drop us here, drop us anywhere, put us together, and we all speak the same language. So I think that is the reason, is that we are of all the same message. And so it makes it much easier to work and engage with each other because we're all trying to achieve the same goal. Big.
Yeah. It's awesome. I love
I
it.
love that too.
So, GG's, we brought on Shirley Ann because in April, as you know, we're focusing on self-care and personal wellness. And we wanted to make sure we hit all the core areas that we think are really super important to making sure that you have that total harmony that you want in your life. So we talked about the spiritual part. And we talked about the physical and the mental and so forth. We wanted to close out with the financial wellness because it's a big piece of the puzzle. And it's that piece that Brandis and I and Shirley Ann, that we as women tend to be kind of tight-lipped about and have anxiety around. But the truth is we're going to work for that money.
Yeah. So anxiety and shame and fear and that hesitation of not knowing what to do.
Yeah. So we brought on Shirley Ann, who is our favorite financial educator. And I love her because Shirley Ann was and is the person that is holding my hand and my husband's hand as we make as we progress.
I love it.
Our goals. Because remember, as we talked about it, was it episode 35? We talked about the power in asking for help. And when you ask for help, people can take you places you've never been before.
Yes.
And so we said there are places we want to go financially this year, and we needed a financial advocate, someone that could work in our corner on our behalf to help guide us and nurture us in a way that wasn't intimidating. And so we went to the Wealth Experience. GG's, you all know Brandis and I were at Wealth Experience in January, and as one of our girlfriends was telling her story about this woman who kind of set her free, I was like, I locked eyes. I was like, yep, she gonna set me free too. I want to taste of that freedom.
Right.
That. So I came home raving. I'd already prepped Kwaku before you got on the phone with them. I was like, babe, and so for our goals, I met this woman. I really think that she could be the person. And he was like, all right, let's fill her out. You know how guys are. Fill her out. So he got on the phone with his shoulder, and Shirley Ann just broke him down.
ShirleyAnn, I'm going to need you to do the same thing with Rich.
All right.
Seriously.
Done.
She hit him with that like brother edge. That's
You
like,
can do it, ShirleyAnn.
Got it.
Okay.
Bring it.
she could do it. She could do it. She got Kwaku like he was just breaking down and just telling all the information. I'm like, we're telling everything on this first call. Do this then. So, but it was great because we needed it. So I think that we're sharing a national treasure today.
Oh,
Thank you.
yay.
I think we are.
But that transparency is needed. I mean, so many times people don't realize that understanding where you are now about your money is critical for me to know the journey that you've come to this point. You know what I mean? Your childhood, your earlier days. That's where those money thoughts come into play and why you are the way you are now. So talking to Kwaku was really him telling me about his concerns, and then we navigating through each one step by step by step. So it was not in any way, for him, it was him breaking down the concerns and me walking him through it.
Yeah, it was kind of like therapy. He was on the sofa, kicked back, like, and this what happened. And I was like, my husband doesn't talk to people like this. This is crazy. Yeah. Crazy. So, ShirleyAnn, tell us, from your perspective, what do you consider financial wellness?
So that is a really great way of saying it. And financial wellness, I would use that by saying it's about creating financial confidence. Okay. So many times we are just overwhelmed and don't know what to do, where to get started, how to understand their money. And so, walking from start to finish, giving you clarity on here's where you are with your dollars and let's keep building from there. So, it is giving you peace of mind and minimizing those financial stress, those worries, those concerns, because we all have them. Yes. It's helping me navigate through your anxieties. From there, it's also then giving you that roadmap. And sometimes, life will happen and we need to deviate. But what I say to you is that financial wellness, creating that financial confidence will be different for every person.
Right.
So for one person, it might be buying a house. Mm-hmm. For another person, it will be making sure that they have the dollars to send their child to college. Mm-hmm. For another person, is making sure that their retirement is really as sweet as they want it to be. So everybody's story is going to be different. There's no one set plan. Everybody has a different experience. But that's why, when we started sharing with each other, Sybil, it was really clear for me to understand what are your financial concerns. So that's the first part, me getting that kind of clarity. And then once I understood that, then I could make the recommendations. Then I could understand where you are and help you navigate to creating that financial foundation.
That's good. Financial confidence.
I love that.
Yeah. Something you said is so critical because so many times I feel like people are, even at our age, in our mid-30s, so many people are so accustomed to our parents steering our mindset around money, right? And even how we move it. Yeah. We're well into our careers, but our parents, the patterns that we learn from childhood and what our parents have suggested or implied kind of steers us.
Or not suggested or not implied.
Yeah.
So ultimately we're kind of clueless. Mm-hmm. I feel like, we're just kind of roaming and seeking because what worked for our parents doesn't necessarily work for our model, right?
And today.
Yeah.
And today. What was good about 10 years ago, I promise you, it is not the right strategies today. So it is no longer a set it and forget it. Mm-hmm. There is ever changing. There's new products that come out. There's new things that will be occurring in your life that, by us being in constant contact, we're making sure we're tweaking, we're adjusting, we're making changes so you can achieve that financial goal, create that financial foundation that you want.
Some people are worried, ShirleyAnn, that I don't even have enough money to speak to a financial advisor. Mm-hmm. Like, at what point, where do you bring a financial advisor into the picture?
Right now, and I know you're going to say, just as you just mentioned, Brandis, that, hold on, I don't have it. Let me get ready to then get ready to then meet with you. But I would much rather start talking now, because before you will be able to manage all the wealth that you're going to get, you've got to start with the little pennies you've got now. So really making sure that you understand what you have, and then we start building on it. So, i.e., let's say, you're working with an employer, making sure that we're maximizing on all the employer benefits. So, if your employer has a 401k, making sure that you're contributing to that 401k and getting the match. If your employer does not have a 401k, then let's make sure that we're doing something outside. If you have kids, we need to talk about creating some life insurance. Mm-hmm. So for whatever the issue is, we've got to make sure that we're navigating through it. But start having that dialogue so that we keep building from it. Mm-hmm. And I would sort of liken my relationship with my client as the coach, or as sort of that, co-pilot. Some people really want me as the person calling out the plays the entire time. Other people say, ShirleyAnn, I kind of got it, but I kind of just need you to co-sign on what I've done. So everybody's situation is going to be different. And that's why, again, you being transparent with me, I can really be able to navigate you through each one of those, and we can get you to the goals that you want to achieve.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
Can you take us back, ShirleyAnn, to the first time you met with the financial planner?
Mother-daughter teams. My mother is my business partner. And so I've been with Prudential going on 24 years. So I turned 29 this year, Brandis. I'm not 29.
I see.
29. So when I first started with Prudential, my mother sat me down and said, ShirleyAnn, before you can sell it, you must own it. So she made sure that I had, I was contributing to my 401k, that I had the right medical plan that was right for me at that age. She made sure that I had a disability policy above and beyond what Prudential was offering me. She made sure I was putting money into my savings account. She made sure that I had all these different financial foundations, because it's not if something is going to happen, it's when.
Right. Yeah.
And so all of that was really the key piece. But the key takeaway I want you to get, Sybil, is that I trust my mother. And so whatever she told me to do, I did it. Mm-hmm. And so that's, again, part of that critical relationship, is when you find that advisor, i.e. me, the financial professional, somebody like myself, you have to be vulnerable and trust us to navigate you through. Because the only way that we're going to get you from where you are now to where you want to be is by you trusting us through the steps. You know what I mean? So as we sit down, you tell me your concerns, I can then navigate you through the process.
Right.
Nice. Okay. And then what about, in our community, we have a lot of women who are entrepreneurs.
Right.
And they are very much at the beginning stages of their business. So they're in a state of survival.
Yes.
And when you're in a state of survival, it's hard to explain to someone who seems like they're very far out of your reach.
Yes.
Where you are and how to get out of it. So what would you say to one of our females? We know we have a lot of women entering entrepreneurship, and especially as African-American women, we're such a growing segment of small business owners. But I feel like that survival mentality, it's hard to break out of it. How do you help people to come out of just surviving to actually thriving or, stabilizing their financial landscape?
Yeah. So first off, I always say that I kudos to you that you see a career, or you see a passion that you really want to flourish, you really want to get into. So, but before you dive in, if you can, make sure you've done your research. Before you started Harlem Fashion Row, Brandis, you did research. I mean, so it's clear for you to understand exactly what you're stepping into, and then be able to sort of know the expectations of that industry. So you might need to shadow somebody for a little while. Mm-hmm. Shadow somebody in that industry so you can really start to understand what's involved in that space that you're stepping into. Now, once you're in there, you got to really be clear on knowing where your money is coming in and where your money's going out. And then, the dollars that are coming in, I know it's hard, but that's why I say to you, having somebody like me that's a part of the whole dynamic. So myself, an accountant that you're going to need, the three of us are going to make sure that we keep you on task to get your company continue growing to where you want it to be a thriving business.
Right.
Because let's be clear, if you are running in the red for 3 years, is it really a business or is it a hobby? And somebody like me is going to be that person that says to you, I know that you really want this to be your life's work, but it might mean that you need to start doing something else on the side so that you can continue running this passion while it's to a space where it's able to flourish. So, it's okay having that sort of side career as well as working on your passion.
Right.
You just kicked the entrepreneur on her side when you say.
I know I did, but that's water. I gotta be sometimes that cold water, Sybil.
It's true.
Because you gotta keep the light on. You want heat, or you want AC. But you've got to have that partner in the whole process with you, navigating you through that space.
Let me say this, as a diehard entrepreneur, I will tell you that what you said is absolutely true. Yeah. Like, understanding where your revenue is coming in and where it's going out is critical. When I first started my business, when people would say that to me, you know what I would say to you, ShirleyAnn?
Please.
You don't understand. You don't understand my purpose. You don't understand my calling. You don't understand my passion. But Rich was actually that person in my ear constantly. He was the cold water constantly. Yeah. And, you know, now I look back and I totally get where entrepreneurs are coming from when they're working from a place of purpose and passion and, you know, have something that they know is bigger than themselves that they're trying to work on or fulfill. But I always say now when I talk to entrepreneurs is know your revenue streams for your business.
Yes.
In the beginning, and work on that in the beginning, like at the very start. Because sometimes you're laying that foundation down and that foundation is so thick. It's like a hurricane. You know, because you're laying the foundation down year after year after year. And I know, and that was part of my story. Constantly laying the foundation down and not having clear revenue streams. So entrepreneurs, great girlfriends, I know you guys are listening and that's a tough pill to swallow and I totally get it. Mm-hmm. But what ShirleyAnn is saying is absolutely right. Having that kind of person in your ear will push you past the fear, because a lot of times the reason why people aren't making money is because they're afraid to ask for the money.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And exhaust all those resources too. Find money, you know, so you'll need seed money. And so in those spaces where you need seed money, I am okay with you, if you have a prior employer, tapping into your 401k. So there's certain times when it's okay to do certain things. So tapping into that 401k when you've left your employer or you're still working, but you know, those are sort of, you know, infancy stages. You need seed money. But then be clear, you've got to then start replenishing that seed account because you want to keep growing the business. So as revenue comes in, my job is to sort of take 10% from you and put it on the side because you're going to need that seed money to do the next part of your business, to keep growing the company, to keep growing the idea. So relationships are important. Myself, the accountant, all of us together helping you achieve that success in your business.
Absolutely. I love it.
Tell us about one of those times where you having that roadmap kind of saved you. I remember you shared a story about you and your mother and the car accident at the event, and I was tripped out. I said, "She gonna sue her mama?" Like, but that's savvy that I didn't have. That, you know, learning that was like, wow, that's pretty savvy. But go ahead and share with us.
No, but that's why I say to you, it is not if something is going to happen, Sybil. It's when. And so having that foundation is really critical, so that when it happens, you're able to parachute out of that situation and not lose everything. So the story is, Mom and I, business partners, coming back from a meeting. And, you know, driving along, didn't think blue sky, scared, no snow on the ground here in Chicago. So everything was perfect. But, you've got no control of anybody else. So out of nowhere, this car hits us. And based on the force of that car, I'm thrown from the vehicle. So, as God would have it, being in that right place in that right time, an ambulance was going by, saw the entire thing unfold, quickly packaged me up and rushed me to one of the best trauma hospitals here in Chicago. But, the next year and a half of me healing, it was more so the physical part, because the financial side of me was in no way impacted. No way impacted at all. My mortgage continued to be paid from my disability insurance. Because you remember I told you when I started, my mother made sure I had disability insurance. So Prudential covered 60% of my income. And then the additional 20% came from an outside disability policy, because the maximum you can buy from disability insurance is 80% of your salary. No company's going to insure you for 100%. So 80% of my salary continued to come in. So that's how my mortgage continued to be paid, my car note, the impact of the car. all the plastic surgery that I got to rebuild this package. That was that good medical insurance that my mother made me get.
Yes.
So the disability insurance, the medical insurance. Then, I was at home, so I needed a nurse to come into my house and care for me. Long-term care insurance. So all of these policies that my mother made me buy, trusting her wisdom, trusting her guidance, is the reason why I was able to sustain myself. The savings account, which again, having at least 6 months or 12 months worth of savings is so important. That savings account is the reason why, remember I said disability insurance gives you 80% of your salary? Well, my bills are still coming in at 100%. So the difference, 20%, came from my savings account. So all of these pieces really came together, and is the reason why I didn't lose my house, and I could be able to recover in a sense of calm versus being in an anxious place because I didn't have the money. Yeah. So that's why, I consider myself sometimes as cold water myself too, Brandis, where you need somebody to be that cold water because, this gave me my testimony. That one experience is the reason why when I'm talking to people, I say, you need it. You're going to need it. It's not if something is going to happen, it's when. And something I always say is the way you feel about your money permeates every aspect of your life. So while I was in that place in the hospital and learning how to walk again, talk again, I was calm because I knew I had the dollars. There was no anxiety I was feeling. Yes. So that's why you need somebody, i.e. myself, where we're able to navigate you through those financial hurdles of life.
And I think all of our great girlfriends have a story, whether it's a family member or family friend or, someone that we know that have had some tragedy that's happened or some physical thing that's happened.
Yeah.
And those people are struggling.
Yes.
In addition to being struggling like physically, you're also now struggling financially.
Yeah.
And that becomes a whole nother piece on the family that they have to consider.
A big one that hits a lot of us is cancer. That breast cancer or different forms of cancer, and people aren't prepared with insurance and understanding. Even when it hits your parents, it hits you. Because you want to immediately start stepping into care, and it can pivot your whole lifestyle. It really can.
Absolutely.
So that's again coming back to that first point that we're talking about, is that starting the relationship with somebody like myself is the reason why we're going to help you navigate through those challenges. Yeah. So you've got to really, set aside the fear, set aside that whole hesitation. But so many times we as women are doing so many different things. We're caring for, as you said, single mom and dad, or we're helping sister, brother, or we're navigating in our families, Brandis, because you just had the baby. So all of these things are coming at us. So there's one more thing and you're just exhausted. Yeah. But hiring somebody like me, having me be a part of the relationship is my role to navigate you through it. Now, here's a challenge, though. Once we start dating,
you got requirements and standards.
Exactly. Don't go Houdini on me. That's the hardest thing.
We just did an episode, a dating episode, and it was standards versus preferences.
Yeah,
so I assume that in the relationship with you, there's standards.
There's standards. There are standards in place.
That you have me as part of your life because you want to get your financial household together. Yeah. So don't go Houdini on me. If I call you, if I email you, I'll give you a 2-day turnaround time, at most 3 days. But after that, we might have to come into Jesus kind of conversation.
You're like, what you over there doing?
I really want you to be serious.
Yeah. Tell me, ShirleyAnn, what are some of the financial myths that we're living with? Any money myths that you think we're living with? Like, there's some things I found out in my more mature years and dealing with people at different net worths as clients. I'm like, wow, who knew? So what are some of the things that we think about our money that aren't true?
I would say the biggest one, there's so many of them, but the biggest one that I find is because you see somebody's exterior package looking so put together, be clear that sometimes is the biggest facade. It's the biggest facade.
Yeah.
So I get a chance to see everybody behind the scenes. And so, I'll walk into a house and I'm going, ooh. And then when you deep dive and you realize that they're totally running in the red, but they're projecting this image that so many of us are still in that space of wanting to project an image. I know that social media is a big part of how the world gets information.
Yes.
However, be clear not to trust everything you see, because who's going to take a bad photo and post it online?
Right.
You're going to take
Right.
the best shot. So that's why I'm saying, sometimes the image you're seeing on the outside is not the true image that people are really living.
But I think that's also the fear, right? So a lot of our great girlfriends,
Yes.
that's the fear of even coming to a financial advisor.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
you know that you've got the Louboutins and you've got, the Gucci and it's like, dang it, but I haven't taken care of my financial things. So I don't want to go to ShirleyAnn and
Yes.
talk to her because she's going to see me walking through the door
Yes.
with my swag.
Singing.
And then she's got to look at my finance. And I'm like, I don't want her judging me.
No, but I love that. And so I am a no judgment zone. That's the first thing I want to stress. I am no judgment. But now that you've walked into my office, we're going to have a heart-to-heart talk, a real girlfriend conversation. Because I'm going to ask you, how do you feel that you've got all this stuff? Like my daddy said to me, one of the best things. So I was working at Ponderosa back in college. Y'all remember Ponderosa?
I know Ponderosa. Yeah.
And so my first paycheck was $150, and I took $120 of it and bought some sunglasses, Laura Bergiati sunglasses. Y'all remember Laura Bergiati sunglasses? And I went home to my daddy and said, Daddy, look at my sunglasses. And he said, well, baby, how much did it cost? I said, well, it only cost $120. And my father said to me, what kind of sun do you see that you need sunglasses that cost $120?
Hilarious.
So you talk about cold water? And then I only had $30 left to cover gas to go back and forth to work, to go to classes, things like that. So my father said to me, you've got to really be detailed with your money. So that's why I'm saying to you, you've got to know that when you're sitting down with somebody like me, I am a no judgment zone. But my job is to point out what my daddy pointed out to me.
Exactly.
That is the only that's the only way we're going to move from where you are to where you want to get to.
Absolutely.
It's me saying that those red bottom shoes that you got 4 of them, or you styling in a car that you're leasing, or you're renting in an apartment and don't have a garage for this nice car. So my job is to kind of create that balancing reality.
Right.
And that's what you want me to do. Because otherwise, if that's not, if you don't want that, then
what are we here? What are we doing?
And that's the truth. At some point, you're going to face your reality.
Exactly.
At some point. It's always better on a preventative side to face it with someone who can help you
right.
eradicate some of the harshness that could come your way.
Which is a great way you said it, preventative. So the reason why we're supposed to go in for our mammograms and our checkups, the wellness visits. So back to the first thing you said, financial wellness is making sure that we are preventing versus recovering. You know what I mean? The reason why I didn't lose everything when I had my car accident was because I had the foundation. I was prepared. So that's the issue of sitting down, and that's the point of sitting down with somebody like me to make sure that we navigate you through these challenges that are going to come.
And how often do you meet with your clients?
So everybody's situation is going to be different. And that's a great question, Brandon. So up front, that is part of the conversation. How engaged do you want me to be? Do you want us to have a once a month touch? Or do you feel 6 months to once a year is enough? So that's really in that infancy stage. And then, what might start out being once a month conversation could then evolve into every 6 months. But usually depending on where I'm observing somebody, I might say, no, sweetheart, you need me once a month.
Okay.
We need to have a Jesus conversation once a month. Because, if you're walking in and I know you have all these red bottom shoes, then we're going to need to make sure I keep you accountable. And that's now part of the action step, that accountability. So the first part of it would be to jot down all the money you have coming in and all the dollars going out. Now ask yourself, as my father would ask me, how many cable channels can you watch at one time? How many cable channels? So there's all these cable channels out there. Maybe you need to get rid of some of them, and that's the first place of helping you find some dollars. Because the first thing somebody says to me is, I don't have any money. Well, let me help you find it. So that's you writing everything down on that Excel spreadsheet, paper, whatever you want to use. So you see all money's coming in, all money's going out. And then you start navigating through your cell phone bill. How many features do you need on it? Bring it down from the $100 that it is down to $75, and now we found $25. So that's the process.
It's not like canceling gym memberships, old ones.
Oh, thank you, because you have not gone in 2 years.
Yeah, memberships that are just stacking fees, and you're paying it so many times. You have to go clean out memberships that you signed up for. And ShirleyAnn is genius at locating money that you're just paying out just because there's no attention on it.
That's so true.
And I like that. So no attention. That is why I'm not an advocate on automatic debit. The only bill I have on automatic debit is my mortgage. Because I want to make sure my house is going to be there when I go home. But everything else, I literally sit down and I write the bill because it really makes you present with your money.
Yeah.
So money coming in, money going out. Locate the dollars is action 2. So you brought down the cable bill down to a smaller amount. You found $25. Now you call me. You found the money. Now let's sit down and help you navigate through. And so you show me the full transparency of everything going on. Step by step, we're going to build to get you to that goal that you're trying to achieve.
I love it.
ShirleyAnn, let's talk about student loans.
Well, can't say amen, say ouch.
Ouch.
Ouch. So I would say do not stick your head in the sand. I would say to you, call them and try negotiating lower interest rates if you can. That's the first place I would tell you to do. So you've located lower interest rates if you can, and then ask them to help you lower the payment that you're doing. So anything but being proactive by calling them. And you mentioned canceling memberships. Sometimes there's a fee to cancel. So you've got to, again, call the place to ask them. So don't just remove them from debit and it stops. You got to call the place. So a lot of this is you calling each one of these financial services, financial companies, and asking them, how do I get out of this? How do I lower my interest rate? What other options are available? But so many people are so busy and get scared or intimidated by that, which again comes back to having me kind of be that coach beside you, helps you navigate through some of that hesitation, fear that you have.
I'm ready to get off this podcast and go look at my account right now. I think I might be paying some membership stuff I don't need to be paying.
Yeah, you'll find stuff. You like $9.99 here, $15.99. Apple got me for $15.99 on a family membership for Apple Radio. That my son was using the phone and he accepted something. How kids click through?
Yeah.
And he accepted, and I canceled it. And they tried to renew it. Net of it is I had to call and get it. I had to escalate it to say, first of all, a child made this move. That's first of all. Secondly, I need to reverse this because I did not request that you continue and add me to a family membership because you saw my husband was on the account. Like they upgraded it and everything. Yeah. So it was stuff like that. And it takes a little bit of time sometimes, like you said.
Yes.
But it's either that or have to explain later and justify something that I don't even want. It's just the attention is so important and coming out of that paralysis and just, sometimes you see it and you say, I'll do it later.
Yes.
You're not going to do it later. Another automated a month will pass and you've paid it and I'll catch it the next time.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Speaking of scheduling and time, like how much time should people spend per week or per day looking at their money?
Good question.
Great question, Brandis. I don't think life is moving so fast. I don't think we have per day anymore. So I would say, at the very minimum, once a week. It's like if it's even, because the way I do it is, all the mail comes in. So all week long going through. But right around Sunday afternoon, I go back upstairs to my house, my office, and I open up all my bills. And so I've got everything kind of lined out. So that's in the week. And then once a month, I'll then sit down, pull out my utility bill from 1 month to the next, and kind of see, like my water bill. So I didn't realize that one of my toilets was running. So the water bill went from $12 to $54. Now, the only way I'm going to know that is by comparing bills from 1 month to the next. So I quickly call the plumber in. But you being present with your money and looking from 1 month to the next, i.e. looking at your statement, going through each one line item by line item by line item is how you're able to see. So I think life is moving too fast, Brandis, that we have every day. I would say the daily part of it is, if you can, use cash to pay for things. Because using that credit card, you see how the wrist kind of just keeps moving, you know what I mean? And so you're not present because you're just using the credit card. So I would say daily, use cash if you can. But you're going to say to me, well, ShirleyAnn, nobody's using cash anymore. Okay, well then use one card that you're really present and accountable to. So that you can make sure that you see all what's going on in that one statement.
Yeah.
So then once a week, you open up all your bills. Once a month, then, when you look from one month to the next, you can see what's going on with your expenses. You know, did I do too much charging over here, too much charging here? And that starts to build that accountability. But the more engaged you are in the entire process is the more confident you feel. Girl, I mean, you know, when I open up my statements and I'm looking at, you know, this coming in from, I mean, it just, you know, as a single female.
It's so true.
Oh,
so
wow.
true.
You feel great.
It's true. When you're on top of stuff, when you're on top of your money, it feels so amazing.
Oh my goodness. You know, I know from, you know, month to month where I'm going to be. And that really is an empowering feeling as a woman.
It is.
Tell me really quickly, ShirleyAnn, I know we have to jump off shortly, but how important are the habits that we have tied to or how deeply related are our habits with our friendships, our great girlfriends?
Yeah. So, you know, you want people. you see how I did that? Yeah, I did. Right. So somebody has got to be the voice.
Yeah.
And that changes from one friend to another. You know, if you share your goals, you know, best friend, you know, I want to lose some weight, and you see that girl eating some ice cream. You know, be a friend enough to tap her on the shoulder and say, wait a minute, I thought you said you wanted to lose that weight. Yeah. Well, that's the same thing with finances.
Yeah.
You know, if that same girlfriend is telling you that she wants to have a stronger financial foundation, and you all going out to eat every day, somebody's got to be the voice. Somebody's got to be the cold water. But you say it with a space of love. You know what I mean? You know, brand is simple. You know, I thought we were focusing on this year being our best financial year ever. And then you might say, well, girl, we're going to start next week. No. Every day, every little bit that we do is going to be empowering. So we've got to start now. So here is to your point there, Sybil, the action steps I would say that I want our awesome ladies to walk away with. Start down by writing all money coming in, all bills going out. Then the second step is looking at each one of those from one statement to the next and making sure that we're doing that deep dive to find where we're spending extra. Lower the cable bill, lower the cell phone bill, find all that fuzzy spot, the latte factor. It doesn't always relate to coffee.
Yeah.
It is relating to all the extra stuff. How often do we need to get our hair done? Maybe we need to go once a month. So now I've just, I know, right? So now I just help you find $40 a week versus going every week, just go once a month or one big event. So that's helping you find some money.
Manicures, pedicures.
Ooh. Now here's, girl, I got to take care of me. I know you do, but not every week.
Yeah.
So I just help you find some dollars.
Yeah.
Now we sit down and I help you start making sure you put aside those dollars. Because what I don't want is fast forward next year, January, and you look back at your New Year's resolution, because we all made them. And you said, you know, my goal in 2016 was to lose weight, get my money right. And you have done nothing. You know how crushing that is?
That's so
I want you so that when you come to 2017 to say, I'm so glad that Brandis and Sybil, the great girlfriends, introduced ShirleyAnn on this conversation because she gave me some financial awareness. Yeah. She gave me the financial confidence to start writing down all my expenses and really be accountable to me so that I can be in a strong space financially.
And I want to interject and say, great girlfriends, don't get it twisted in thinking that because you're taking ShirleyAnn's tips, that you're going to say, I'm going to take that and work it for a little while and do me and get it down and then think I'm good. I would still advise that you have the accountability of a professional who can advocate for your decisions on your behalf, which says, yes, I'm writing this down in preps for going to connect with a woman such as ShirleyAnn, if not ShirleyAnn, to help manage it. Because sometimes people will say, self-help, I can do it myself. ShirleyAnn just gave me the keys to the kingdom, and now I'm good. But that's not it. that's just that's starting the process to putting eyes and attention on what's taking place on the current situation. And then to come out of it is someone saying, use us saying help, and ShirleyAnn saying, this is what I do, let me help you.
Yes.
Right?
It's the same thing. Like, she's called herself a coach. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing as when you really, really, really want to get something accomplished, you go see a coach.
Yeah.
Normally.
That's when, you really
when you're real serious, you go see a life coach, you go see a business coach, you go, that's when you're like, okay, I'm serious. I'm ready to do this.
You're ready.
Yeah.
I love it. ShirleyAnn, thank you so much.
Thank you. This was amazing.
It was absolutely amazing. Oh, you're so fantastic. I really, really appreciate all of your wisdom.
I know.
Everything.
I know.
Thank you, ladies, for having me.
I'm feeling like I got so much to do.
You just have, you have so much to just give attention to and get excited. Yeah.
Yes.
But don't
you made it so clear, ShirleyAnn. You really did. You broke it all the way down. I felt every word of what you said.
Yes. And that spring cleaning. It's that time for us to make sure that we're refreshing our landscape and not ending the year looking back, like you said, and saying, man, I missed out, or I didn't take advantage of opportunities when the tools were there.
And the awesome thing is, we're at Q1. We're finishing up Q1. We've got 3 more quarters to get it right.
That's right.
This year.
Start now. Is the time. Start now.
ShirleyAnn, could you give us 2 forms of contact that our great girlfriends could reach you at in case they're interested? I strongly recommend her. So I'm just going to say that firsthand. Now that I said that, and I mean that honestly, like I really do strongly, I love you. So 2 forms of contact that if anyone wants to reach out to you and be like, ShirleyAnn, help.
SOS. So every now. So my email is ShirleyAnn.Robertson@Prudential.com. ShirleyAnn.Robertson@Prudential.com. And then my phone number, 847-301-7400. Even though I'm here in Illinois, clearly I am licensed throughout the United States, so it doesn't matter where you are. If you're willing to work with me, call me 847-301-7400 or email ShirleyAnn.Robertson@Prudential.com.
Nice.
There we go.
So we want to thank our husbands, Kwaku and Rich, right?
Yes.
And all of our great girlfriends for trusting us as your go-to source for everything life, love, and laughter. You can listen on our website, iTunes, Stitcher, and Blueberry. Remember to check us out on Instagram,
The Great Girlfriends.
Facebook,
The Great Girlfriends.
Twitter,
_Great GFS.
And make sure you join our Facebook group at...
Yes. Our Facebook group is The Great Girlfriends.
That's right. So post your questions, share with your friends.
Keep listening and keep being a great girlfriend.
I'm Sybil.
I'm Brandis.
ShirleyAnn.
That's right. And we're signing off.
Bye, guys.
Peace.